Good morning. It'd be amiss for me not to lead a little prayer before we all get started. It should be in our custom as Gullah Geechee people. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for allowing us to come together one more time. Thank you for our life, health, and strength. Thank you for those that couldn't make it here that wanted to be here as well. We want to thank you for a beautiful morning and our last night rise and our last night setting. We thank you for those that sat in the hospitals that's not able to be here and be around us. But with your positive energy and your faith and your wisdom, that those that's in those hospitals and in the nursing home will be guided with good health. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you again for allowing me to speak at this Gullah Geechee corridor. The first time I had an opportunity to attend one of these meetings was in Williamsburg, South Carolina. The late Miss Vanell Bonnie Rodriguez from the Gullah Geechee Museum in Georgetown asked me to come in her absence. And after there, she is one that gave me the wisdom to research my family tree, my heritage all the way back to West Africa, to Sierra Leone, to Charleston, to Clarendon County, and now to Georgetown. I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. I just wanted to give Ms. Rodriguez rest in peace. She's always in my heart, in all of our hearts. I know a lot of us call her Miss Bunny. Hotep and blessing. First, I want to give honor to Mr. Rodriguez, Mrs. Bunny's husband, that's not able to make it here because he's doing the storytelling. He's saying his appreciation and his love. That helped me understand who I am today. With the researches I've been doing on my family tree, because of the community that my grandparents was born in and raised in was the Gullah Geechee community in Clarendon County. At that time, it was forbidden for the kids to go to school and speak that language. So I see how, when I was coming up, I heard about Gullah, but I never heard about the part about Geechee, and the reason why they call you Gullah because you ate a lot of rice. So that was a little slang in my community as I was growing up. As well, the language of our ancestors are allowing us to come together one more time and a safe return to our destination. On top of all that, I'd like to discuss briefly about the education and how we can bring it all back to our youth, that we can have an understanding of the Gullah Geechee people in South Carolina that stems from Wilmington, North Carolina, all the way up to Jacksonville, Florida. A lot of this misinformation that has been documented have not found its ways into public, private schools, and then parents that's doing homeschooling. Needs to be educated as well. This is all has to change. I asked several students, have they ever heard of the Gullah Geechee people? 92% of the students that I talked to say they never heard of it. It was deeply saddened to hear that from them, and they are George-Terrian. So that shows that the lack of information and knowledge is not really being widespread in all of our communities. I'm speaking to is very sad. It's very unacceptable to join forces with other community agencies that would love to be able to take a part of the Gullah Geechee community, but lack of information because we really don't see and hear on social media that's widespread about the Gullah Geechee people. We may hear a little bit about Charleston County and the rights and how they move in the people from 17 and pushing them back with the straw baskets. Also, I'm asking this committee to join forces with my nonprofit organization, Save Our Youth and Family Annual March, if possible, as we rewrite history for the next generation, that we will not leave out the Gullah Geechee corridor in the state of South Carolina. It is definitely a vital thing that our youth that's coming up for the next generation to receive this information, because it says in the Bible that we lack because of we perish because of lack of knowledge and who these children are. And if you take their knowledge from them, you take their culture away from them, then you give them a substitute entity that they can claim as theirs, but it's not in their nature, for say, then that child has been deceived and led astray. This is my personal opinion, and I'm pretty sure that we all can agree with that. We must see that our story is being told from the kindergarten all the way up to the 12th grade. This way we can fill in the gaps that has been intentionally kept from our community. And my conclusion, there's a danger over the horizon with heirs' property being taken and our waterways are being threatened with pollution and offshore dwelling and all pollution from factories and industries, and now chemtrails. If no one in here knows about chemtrails, I'm not scared to mention. When you walk outside and you see those streaks in the air, those are chemtrails. Mother Earth is not very pleased with us for not going totally green with all the technology that we have. I do not think that I'm asking very much, because the money that South Carolina generates basically every year is much more. I thank you. If there's anyone that has any questions for me at this time, can pretty much do so. I also teach the 42 principles of Ma'at, which is spirituality, before religion came on the scene. I thank you. If there's any questions? No questions? Then I have a seat. Thank you.